Customers kept rushing back, not because they loved their hair, but because it was falling apart. Everyone in Balogun Market was asking, how did Chima's salon go from being empty to booming overnight? Her hairs were called magic, but behind that perfect shine was a secret no one saw coming. Balogun Market was full of life and plenty noise. You could hear Okadas honking non-stop, traders shouting their prices, and loud music playing in the background. Inside one small hidden corner of the market was a tiny salon called the Quick Touch. It was run by a young woman in her 20s named Chimamanda, but everyone simply called her Chima. Chima had spent most of her younger years working as an apprentice for Madam Comfort. She was the one always packing the falling hair, the ones that came off while customers were getting their hair done, fetching water and running errands. Madam Comfort was strict and hardly paid her anything, but Chima was smart. While working, she watched and learned how to twist thread, part hair neatly, and even how Madam Comfort handled her customers and their endless gossip. Then one rainy Saturday, Madam Comfort suddenly closed her shop and relocated without telling anyone. Just like that, she was gone and Chima was left behind with only her skills, no money, and no idea on what to do next. Chima looked at her life and saw how tough things really were. Her mother worked tirelessly just to feed them, and her younger siblings were about to miss their work exams because there was no money to pay the fees. Chima knew she had to do something to help her family. Then it hit her. She had a skill. So she told herself, why not try? Why not start something, even if it's small? With that thought, she reached for her old Bible. Inside its pages were a few crumpled Naira notes, her tiny savings from helping around the neighborhood, and tips from Madam Comfort's old customers. It wasn't much, but it was all she had. She counted the money slowly, took a deep breath, and made up her mind. She used the money to buy the barest thing she needed for a salon: an old yellow plastic chair that leaned to one side, and a big cheap mirror with a thick crack running through the middle. That was how the Quick Touch was born. It wasn't much to look at, but it was hers and it was a start. But even with her hopes high, the journey wasn't easy. Her salon was quiet most days, too quiet. She often sat there hearing nothing but her own breathing sound. Across the muddy street was Stella's salon called Hair Palace. Stella's shop was like a party every single day. It was loud, colorful, and full of customers. Stella, a bold woman in her mid-30s, was always laughing, answering phone calls, and giving instructions to her workers. Her success felt like a loud reminder in Chima's ears. One hot afternoon, Mama Ada walked into Chima's shop. She was in her 50s, always wearing big head wraps. She came in that day to get simple cornrows. After Chima finished making her hair, Mama Ada looked in the mirror and gasped. Chima, see this hair now. Your hands are magic, my dear, she said, turning her head proudly. So neat, like artwork. But let me tell you, my braids usually last 4 weeks, sometimes even 5. Let's hope this one lasts that long. Thank you, Mama Ada, Chima replied, smiling even though her heart wasn't in it. You will be back in 4 weeks, I promise. But Mama Ada didn't come back in 4 weeks. She returned 2 months later with fresh braids clearly done by someone else. This kept happening. Customers praised her work, called it beautiful, but they never came back regularly. Chima knew that for her business to grow, she needed loyal customers. People who would stick with her, not just pass by. One evening after closing, Chima sat alone. She counted her small earnings, just a few coins. The rent was due in 3 days. Her siblings' school fees were due the next morning. She was tired, frustrated, worried. She stared at the cracked mirror and asked herself, what is Stella doing that I'm not doing? I need something special, something that makes people addicted to my styles. I don't want them to just like my work. I want them to need it. Filled with fear and desperation, Chima got on a bike and rode far away from the busy market. She went to a hidden dusty industrial zone known for selling cheap unregulated goods. She found a quiet stall in a corner owned by a thin man who looked nervous. Chima told him exactly what she was looking for, something that would make her hair work stand out, something that would wow her customers. The man looked around carefully before bringing out a thick, clear container with a small handwritten label, Hair Polish Booster Industrial Strength. He leaned in and spoke in a low voice. Madam, this product is very strong oh. It's not that type sold in normal shops. Just one small cupful in your rinse water will make the hair shine like glass, like pure gold. The shine will last only a full week. But after that, he scratched his cheek and sighed. It's dangerous. It removes all the natural oils from the hair. The hair will start to feel dry, then it will tangle, then begin to break. Customers will now run back to you, not for beauty, but for help. Chima felt a wave of guilt washed over her. She knew this wasn't right. It felt like a trick, a trap, but the fear of hunger, unpaid rent, and her family's suffering was louder than her conscience. Give me the biggest one, she said quietly as she reached for her money. The man suddenly brought out another small container. This one is your backup, he said. When the hair starts breaking, mix this into their next treatment. It brings the hair back to life, smooth again, but it's expensive, so use it wisely. Chima took both bottles and nodded silently. She went home, poured the dangerous chemicals into a plain container and hid it under her old yellow chair. And for the rescue product, she wrapped it in a black nylon and kept it on the shelf in her shop. From that day, she started adding just a tiny drop of the booster into her final rinse water. The results were instant and magical. Customers loved it. Their hair looked brand new, fresh, shiny and flawless. They smiled, touched their hair with joy and left feeling beautiful. And they always came back. They didn't know that the shine was temporary and Chima didn't even tell them. One day, Mrs. Uche, a woman in her 40s who liked expensive things and always wanted everything perfect, came to the shop. She looked at herself in the mirror and could not stop smiling. Chima, look at this now. My hair is shining like diamonds. I feel like a star. No one has made my hair shine like this before. What is your secret? Chima smiled and said, "It's a new special protein treatment only here at the Quick Touch." After that, Chima's business grew fast. Her little shop became very popular. People lined up waiting for their turn. Everyone wanted the shiny, beautiful hair. Chima started making good money. She paid her siblings' school fees, bought brand new wrappers for her mother. Then she fixed her shop. She threw away the old chair and broken mirror. She bought two soft chairs, a big gold mirror, and painted the walls. She also got a new hairdryer. The Quick Touch salon looked fresh, clean and different. But soon, the problem started. Customers came back very fast, not after a month, but after a few days. One busy afternoon, the shop was full. Chima was working and counting money when Mama Ada came in. Her face showed pain. Her braids looked dry and messy. "Chima, please help me oh." Mama Ada cried, pulling her hair. "My braids were beautiful, but now my hair feels rough like steel. It breaks when I comb it. My head itches so much. The braids only lasted a few days. What did you do to my hair?" Chima put on a worried face and said, "Mama Ada, this is bad oh. Maybe the weather changed or your hair is very sensitive. You need my special repair treatment and the new protective style. I can fix it, but it will cost you extra." Mama Ada let out a deep sigh and sat down. The other women looked at her and nodded. They were all going through the same thing, but they still believed Chima could fix it. Across the road, Stella had been watching. She was smart and quick to notice things. She saw the pattern, how Chima's customers loved the shiny hair, but returned too soon with damaged hair. Stella knew something wasn't right, so she asked her assistant to watch Chima closely. For 3 days, Stella observed everything from her own shop. Every morning before her first client, Chima would go to the sink, pour water into a bottle, and quickly add something from a small plain jar. She always hid it right after. Stella understood Chima's shine was coming from a secret chemical. Then came Friday. The market was busy and noisy. Chima was talking to Mrs. Uche while preparing to rinse her hair. Suddenly, the door flung open. Stella walked into Chima's salon. The noise outside seemed to disappear. Everyone turned to look. Chima froze. Her heart pounded. Stella didn't look angry, just cold and serious. Without a word, Stella walked to the sink. She bent down, opened the cupboard, and pulled out the hidden jar. She lifted it up so everyone could see. Everyone! Mama Ada, Mrs. Uche, please listen, oh! Stella's voice cut through the silence. This girl is cheating all of you. This is her secret. She shook the jar. This chemical is not meant for your hair. It makes it shine for a few days, then ruin it. It dries your hair out, makes it weak, and forces you to come back and pay her again to fix it. She planned it this way. A loud, horrifying gasp filled the whole shop. Mama Ada, who had just sat down for the expensive emergency repair, looked at the jar, then at Chima. Her face changed from confusion to deep pain. You mean all the breakage, all the itching, all the dryness, it was all because of you? Mama Ada asked softly, her voice shaking. Tears filled her eyes. You lied to us. You lied to me. You damaged our hair just for money. Mrs. Uche, who had rollers in her hair, jumped up in anger. She pulled the rollers out roughly. I brought my sisters here. I even told my cousin. I trusted you. You are wicked, Chima. The shop became noisy. Customers screamed. Some shouted and ran for the door. Some knocked things over as they rushed out. In just a few seconds, the salon was empty. Chima stood alone, her eyes looking at the jar in Stella's hand. The money she had made suddenly felt heavy and dirty in her pocket. Stella sighed deeply and looked at Chima with pity. You had a real talent, Chima. You didn't need to go this far. The most valuable thing in this business isn't fake shine, it's honesty. She turned and walked out immediately, gently closing the door behind her. Chima stood in silence. Her shop still looked beautiful with clean mirrors and bright yellow walls, but everything felt cold. She had helped her family, yes, but she had lost her name, her respect, and the trust of the people. It was then she realized that she had traded her integrity for a lie. All the smiles, the praise, the money, it had all come at the cost of her integrity, and now the silence in her salon was louder than any crowd. Chima walked to the mirror, stared at her own reflection and whispered, was it really worth it? There was no answer, only the quiet echo of regret. I hope you enjoyed this story. Please don't forget to like, drop a comment and share. Bye and see you in the next one.